In August 2011, Deus Ex Human Revolution was released, which was a reboot of the original franchise from 2000. This game really was a gem, where we live in a cyberpunk world based on augmentations that being applied to human beings. What made the game really cool was the fact that there was an enormous choice of freedom in the game. The game gave you a lot of choice in how you want to handle a certain action. Normally, when there's a certain amount of freedom in another game, you always have a linear path to your mission where you have 3 or 2 approaches. But in Deus Ex you have like 5 or 6 different approaches, and it feels really open-ended, and you really have the true feeling that there's a lot of choice involved in here. Next to the story missions, there's a free world to explore where you have a lot of side quests which you can complete. It gives you a feeling that it's really an open adventure where you just do whatever you like. In 2016, the latest sequel came out called Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Unfortunately, this game felt a bit rushed and it ended too quickly. The ending had a lot of unresolved points and it felt like the story just stopped out of nowhere. This probably was because of budget constraints and they really needed to bring out the game before pumping in more development time. Since the last game, we haven't heard anything anymore about Deus Ex and if they're actually developing a new game. Square Enix have confirmed that they did not cancel the series, but that they give priorities to other titles right now. In my opinion, this is the time to actually give priority to the Deus Ex series. The reason for that is because the most popular game at this moment in time is Cyberpunk 2077. The hype is real. For 2020, this is the most anticipated games for most gamers out there, including me. The game has a lot of similarities with Cyberpunk 2077. This is an open world RPG with a lot of freedom of choice and a lot of choice in the style that you actually want to play the game. The atmosphere in the game and the genre is almost the same. Cyberpunk, that's a theme that's also present in Deus Ex. So with the current hype and demand that there is for Cyberpunk, it would be a huge mistake not to release a Deus Ex game after Cyberpunk 2077 has been released, since there will be a huge craving and a lot of demand for a Cyberpunk related game. At the moment there are actually 2 games that are really anticipated for 2020. Those are Cyberpunk 2077 and The Last of Us Part 2. If you compare these games, the popularity for Cyberpunk is so much bigger than The Last of Us. It would be a huge mistake not to release a Deus Ex game and jump on this hype train. Are you guys also looking forward to a sequel to Deus Ex Mankind Divided?